Hi everybody, how are you? Glad to see you for another week, another Friday, and another story. I hope you're ready for a good one. This is a new book for me this week, and it really was inspired by the stories from last week where we were talking about the early church. And the the Sunday school story coming up for this next week, which is for Pentecost, which is like the birthday of the church. So between those two, I thought this book was going to be perfect because this book asks the question that so many children and really adults ask. We all want to know, see if you can see that, where does God live? That's a good question, right? I mean, if I asked you, where does God live? Probably most of you would say, well, God lives with Jesus in heaven. Okay, that's right, but where is that? It's such a difficult thing to get your mind around. And the answer in this book is not what you might think when I say, where does God live? The answer in this book is not God lives in heaven. While that may be an accurate answer, but God is more than just in heaven. God is with us. God is all around. God is inside of us. God is inside of each one of us and in everything that we say and do and see throughout the world. So what a wonderful story. Great for all ages. So I hope you will enjoy this book. And I want you to notice one thing. As we get to the end of the story, I won't read it, but I'm going to show you the page where the author and the illustrator, whose names you'll see down here, kind of gave their, dedication. And you'll see that the author of the book was inspired to write this by what their own child asked of them one day, just sort of in passing. And, as they say, the story goes from there. So sit back and relax and enjoy. Where does God live?
Where does God live was the question she had. God lives in us all, said her mom and her dad. God's all there is and all that you see. But I still don't see God, so how can it be? That's 'cause you're looking with just your eyes. Look into your heart and you'll see God inside. So I'll see God through the eyes of my heart? Exactly, they said. That's just how you start. You'll see that God lives in things big and things small. You'll find God is everywhere, the all in all. God lives in the sun and the black sky of night. God lives in the dark. God lives in the light. God lives in the flowers. The oceans and streams. God lives in the treetops. God lives in your dreams. God lives in everyone here on the earth. That's why we all shine from the day of our birth. God lives in all people. We all are God's light. God lives in our laughter. God is our delight. God lives in your wings when you fly through the air. God lives in your tears when you're sad or you're scared. God lives in your strength when you try something new. You are always with God, and God's always with you. God lives with you whether you're near or you're far. God lives with you always, wherever you are. And remember, whatever you say or you do, God lives in your heart and will always love you. So the God in my heart has so much to give that wherever I look, I can see where God lives. Now her question was answered. She smiled. She could see wherever she looked is where God would be.
Did you love it? I hope you really like this book. And I hope as you go out through your week, with this beautiful weather that we're now having, as you go outside and take a walk, and maybe you see a friend from across the street and you give them a wave, or you see birds flying in the sky, or trees and flowers and animals and anything you might think of. I hope that you will remember that in all of that is where God is. God lives in all of that, in all of us, each and every day. I love you. Hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.